Let's open our Bibles to the Gospel by John, chapter 14. We're now looking at the sixth of Jesus' 7 personal introductions. Jesus introduced himself 7 times by a special combination of I am plus a descriptive term about himself. I am the bread of life, he said in John 6:35. I am, in John 8:12, the light of the world. I am, as he said in John 10, verse 7, the door to the sheepfold. And then on, he says, I am, in John 10 and verse 11, the good shepherd. But now, after declaring in chapter 11 he's the resurrection and the life, he makes probably his most powerful I am declaration. He says in chapter 14 and verse 6 that he is the only way to get to heaven. He's the only doorway to God. I think of it in a little different term this morning, and maybe from the news, all of you understand what I'm talking about. It seems like, and I don't know if Bonnie noticed this, but all week long in the news, and we were talking about the terrorists and the attack and everything, it seems like there have been just too many pictures of Osama bin Laden. I mean, have you seen enough pictures of the guy? I've seen enough pictures of the guy. You know, he's everywhere. They're constantly showing him, you know, in the newscasts, and they're talking about him on the radio, and he's in all the magazines, and he's on the front page of all the papers. He's just omnipresent. And what I hear, though, that bothers me is everyone says, he is the greatest enemy of the civilized world. Osama bin Laden? No, he's not. The first terrorist is the greatest enemy of the civilized world. Because the old Devil Bin-Lucifer himself tried to hijack the worship of God in heaven. And he says, I'm going to take God's place. I'm going to be like the Most High. And when he couldn't hijack the worship of heaven, he came and hijacked planet Earth. And he jumped in as the God of this world into the cockpit, as it were, of this planet. And he has shoved the controls downward, and he is plunging the whole planet toward destruction. He is the first terrorist. He is the worst enemy of this planet. He is the ultimate hijacker, and all of us live on the hijacked planet Earth. But the good news of the gospel is that the designer and builder, the Creator himself, jumped onto the crashing planet. And he stormed, as it were, the cockpit and destroyed him that had the power of death, that is the devil, and disarmed him and his minions, the demons. And now he stands at the doorway of the crashing plane, and he stands by the only exit that works. And he says what we read in John 14 and verse 6. He says, if you want off, if you want to escape the ultimate crash, the ultimate fiery destruction, if you want to be rescued from the worst hijack of all, here's the door. I'm the only escape, Jesus says. Think about that in current news scenario, what Jesus says as he declares this wonderful truth about himself, that he's the only door. Before we read this, though, I want to kind of remind you, if there's only one door out that's safe, then all the other doors are the wrong doors. And that's one of the hardest things about Christianity, for us to explain to people the exclusive message of the gospel. Only Jesus Christ, not Jesus plus some cult, some false teaching, some false system of religion. Only Jesus Christ offers the door of escape. Jesus' message was very exclusive. Let's read it in John 14. We're going to read the first 6 verses. This is what Jesus said in his day to his dear disciples on that last night of their time together with him before the cross. Jesus says, let not your hearts be troubled. What a message to us today. It seems like the whole world is troubled about this matter. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many, and the word mansion actually literally means resting places. He said, I got a lot of room for you to rest. Come to me. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go and prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare this resting place for you in my Father's house, I will come again, and I will receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. And where I go you know, and the way you know. And Thomas pipes up for all of us. He says, oh, wait a minute. We don't know where you're going, and we don't know how to get there. And I'm so glad he asked this, because that's where Jesus says, verse 6. And Jesus said, I am the way, the only way, the one and only way. I am the truth. There is no other truth revealed about God apart from what I have revealed that is true. All other is not true if you've heard anything else about God other than what I've revealed. I am the truth about God, and I am the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So if Jesus is the only right way to God, all other ways to God are the what? Wrong ways. We need to realize that this morning. There are not many ways to God. There are not many roads to heaven. There are not many different plans of salvation dispensed by different groups and people and churches and organizations. There's one way, one truth, and one life. Let's bow before the Lord.